You're about to uncover the truth no one dares to say out loud, the kind of truth that stings because it's real. Not everyone who stands beside you is there to support you. Some are silently hoping you never rise, never change, never choose yourself. This video isn't just another self-help list, it's a wake-up call. Here on Stoic Focus, we go beyond fake positivity and surface-level advice. We dive deep into raw, uncomfortable, life-changing wisdom, grounded in Stoic philosophy and sharpened by real-world experience. In this video, you're going to meet the 5 types of people you must distance yourself from in old age, even if they share your blood, your home, or your history. And here's the truth. This isn't just about relationships. It's about your peace, your freedom, and your final chapter. This video is packed with insight. Every minute matters. Watch until the end, because one of these 5 may already be in your life, and by the end of this video, you'll finally know what to do about it. If you've ever felt emotionally drained by the people closest to you, drop a comment below. Tell us your story, and don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Focus for more content that cuts through the noise and helps you take your life back one boundary at a time. Let's begin. Part 1, the guilt carriers. When love turns into emotional obligation. There comes a strange turning point in life that no one warns you about. It's not a number, not 60, not 70, not 80. It's a moment. A quiet realization that the same people who once lifted you up are now the ones slowly pulling you under. Not because they mean to, not even because they're cruel, but because they've learned how to twist love into obligation. And the older you get, the harder it becomes to untangle the two. That's the cruel irony of aging. You're supposed to be freer, lighter, wiser. But instead you find yourself carrying invisible weights, memories of old sacrifices, whispers of guilt, a lifetime of after everything I've done for you. The problem isn't love. The problem is how it's weaponized. There's a certain kind of person, often a parent, a sibling, or a child, who never screams at you. They don't slam doors or raise fists. They just sigh. They murmur. They say things like, "I guess I'll manage. I'm used to doing everything alone anyway." And that little sentence slices through your peace like a razor. You don't want to be ungrateful. After all, these are people who've been there for decades. They may have changed your diapers, paid your bills, or shared a hospital room with you, and that's what makes it so complicated. But Stoicism teaches us something most cultures are afraid to admit. Gratitude is not a lifetime contract. If you've ever felt guilty for setting a boundary, for choosing rest over a favor, or for saying no to someone who helped you once upon a time, this part is for you. Let me tell you about Evelyn. Evelyn was a 74-year-old retired school teacher, sharp-witted, kind, and gentle, the kind of woman who used to make cookies for the entire neighborhood just because it was a Tuesday. She had one daughter, Melissa, a 48-year-old single mother working in real estate. Every Sunday, like clockwork, Melissa would call, but not to ask about Evelyn's health or her week. The calls usually began with, "I'm so tired of people," and ended with, "Anyway, I don't know why you can't just help out with the kids more." At first, Evelyn would nod and agree. She loved her grandkids. She loved being needed. But she started noticing something every time she said, "I'm tired." Today, Melissa would grow cold. Every time she said, "Maybe another time," she'd get silence. That silence didn't last a few minutes. It lasted days, weeks. One morning, Evelyn woke up with a low fever and a heart that just felt heavy. When Melissa called, she answered honestly, "Sweetheart, I'm not feeling great. I need to rest today." Melissa responded, "Well, I guess I won't bother you again." Then she hung up. 3 weeks went by, no call, no text, no "how are you?" And that's when Evelyn realized she wasn't being loved. She was being used as an emotional crutch. Her kindness had become currency. Her presence had become a debt owed. She didn't call Melissa back. She wrote herself a note instead, stuck it on the fridge. Guilt is not love. Silence is not support. That was the day Evelyn began to reclaim her peace. Here's the hard truth: some people will only love you as long as you are willing to sacrifice for them. And the moment you stop, you become the villain in their narrative. But the Stoics remind us that virtue is not obedience to others, it is obedience to reason. And reason tells us this: when someone demands your peace, in exchange for their approval, it is not love they offer. It is emotional blackmail. Seneca wrote, "A wise man is content with himself." But how can you be content when every act of self-care is interpreted as betrayal? Too often, especially in old age, guilt is used as a chain disguised as gratitude. And because we were raised to respect our elders, serve our children, and hold family above all else, we accept that chain willingly. But here's the shift. Love does not require you to be endlessly available. Love does not erase your need for boundaries. Real love celebrates your independence. Manipulation fears it. I want you to sit with a question. Be honest. If you stopped giving, stopped helping, stopped accommodating, would that relationship still exist? If the answer is no, then what you have is not a bond. It's a bargain. Your later years should not be a never-ending repayment plan for the sacrifices others made. You are not a debt to be collected. You are not a lifetime servant because someone once did something kind for you. Gratitude does not require servitude. And here's the most important shift you must make as you grow older. You are allowed to choose yourself, not in bitterness, not in revenge, but in quiet, firm, unapologetic peace. Every time someone makes you feel selfish for saying no, remember this. No is not cruelty. Rest is not laziness. Distance is not betrayal. It is wisdom. It is self-respect. It is your final gift to yourself to choose peace over pressure. Because at the end of your life, you won't regret not answering one more guilt-laced phone call. You won't regret skipping the dinner where you were shamed for growing. What you'll regret is not protecting the sacred space that your heart fought so hard to create. So let me leave you with this. You do not owe your peace to your past. You owe it to yourself. Let them say you've changed. Let them sigh. Let them walk away. That's okay, because you're finally walking toward yourself. Part 2. The energy drainers. Why you always feel tired after certain people. You've been there. You pick up the phone, you open the door, you sit across from them at the same table, they smile, they talk, and when they leave, you're left completely empty. You didn't argue. There was no drama, no conflict, just a slow, quiet exhaustion that clings to your body like fog. That's the effect of an energy drainer, someone who never punches you in the face, but always punches a hole in your soul. And the tragedy is we rarely notice them until it's too late. In youth, we brush off the exhaustion. We shake it off, make a joke about it. Man, the conversation drained me. But as you get older, your time becomes more sacred. Your emotional bandwidth becomes narrower. You realize that energy is not an infinite resource. It is, in fact, the currency of life. And some people are professional pickpockets. But here's the trap. Energy drainers don't come in the form of enemies. They're not rude. They're not offensive. They often wear the mask of friends, neighbors, or even family members. In fact, they might even believe they're doing you a favor by keeping you company. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret was 67, recently retired, living alone after her husband passed. Her days were simple, peaceful. She read garden-made tea at 4 p.m. sharp. She was content until her neighbor Bonnie started stopping by. At first it was casual, just saying hi. Then it turned into full-blown visits, hour-long vent sessions, endless stories of betrayal, office gossip, and what she'd seen on the local Facebook group. And Margaret, polite as ever, listened every single time. She never said much. She just nodded. But after each visit, Margaret found herself staring out the window, anxious for no reason. deeply tired, her chest heavy with something she couldn't name. Her tea turned cold. Her gardening was forgotten. She didn't even want to open the blinds. The breakthrough came one day when she told Bonnie, "I'm trying to rest today." Bonnie's reply, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll go bother someone else." That line rang in Margaret's head for hours. Bother. She hadn't imagined it. She had become a dumping ground, not a friend, not a companion, a container. Here's what we must understand. There is a difference between empathy and emotional servitude. Stoicism teaches that your energy is to be directed toward what you can control. And what you can't control, the complaints, the drama, the spirals of someone who refuses to grow, is not your responsibility. Marcus Aurelius once asked himself, "Is this necessary?" A question we all should ask every time someone begins to speak. Is this helping either of us grow, or is this just noise disguised as connection? Energy drainers are rarely loud. They don't shout or demand. Instead, they drop a steady stream of negativity, gossip, helplessness, and drama like a faucet that won't shut off. And over time, that drip, drip, drip begins to corrode your inner calm. Here are the patterns to watch. They never ask about you. And if they do, it's just a quick formality before turning the spotlight back on themselves. They repeat the same problems for years. You give advice, offer support, listen with compassion, but nothing changes. Not because they can't, but because they won't. You feel heavier after every interaction. Not challenged, not inspired, just drained. Now, some will say, but isn't it selfish to stop listening to someone who's struggling? It's a valid question, and here's the Stoic answer. Kindness without boundaries is not kindness. It is self-neglect. Yes, we help others. Yes, we show compassion. But when helping them begins to hurt you, when their pain becomes your prison, that's when the line must be drawn. I remember my own energy drainer. His name was Tom. Tom was the kind of friend you couldn't hate because he never did anything overtly wrong. He was funny, smart, loyal, in his own way. But every conversation was a monologue. Every lunch became a therapy session. Every phone call lasted 2 hours longer than it should. When I finally told him I need space, he said, "Wow, I thought we were better friends than that." What he really meant was, "I thought you'd let me keep draining you forever." I didn't reply. I just didn't return the next call. I didn't explain. I didn't defend. And that silence, that boundary, saved my energy for people who actually gave some back. Here's the mindset shift I want you to remember. You are not a battery for someone else's broken flashlight. You are not here to keep others running while you slowly shut down. Your presence is not a public utility. Your peace is not public property. You don't need permission to protect your energy, especially in your later years. So what do you do when you recognize an energy drainer? First, pause after each conversation. Check in with yourself. Do you feel fuller or emptier? Second, set time limits. Let them know, I only have 15 minutes today. If they respect you, they'll honor it. If they protest, that's all the answer you need. Third, shift the conversation. If they spiral into gossip or venting, try. Let's talk about something lighter today. If they resist, you've revealed the real reason they called. And finally, say no without guilt. I'm not available for that right now. That's all. No apology, no story, no permission slip required. One of the most powerful Stoic lessons is this. You cannot pour clean water into a dirty glass and expect it to stay clean. If you want peace, guard your glass. Be selective about what and who you allow inside. In the final decades of life, your time should be spent on things that uplift, not deplete. You are not cold for choosing silence over chaos. You're not cruel for needing space. You are wise, you are aware, and you are finally free to stop being someone's emotional landfill. Let the world say what it will. Let people misunderstand. Let them call it selfish. You'll call it survival. And one day, you'll look around and realize you're no longer exhausted all the time. You're finally breathing clean air again. And that's not just peace. That's freedom. Part 3, the transactional ones, when being useful replaces being loved. There's a certain kind of heartbreak that doesn't come from betrayal or abuse. It comes from realizing you were never truly loved. You were just useful. It happens slowly, quietly. You spend years, maybe decades, giving your time, your money, your energy, expecting nothing in return except respect and loyalty. And then one day, when you finally need help, support, even just a simple check-in, all you hear is silence. Not because they forgot, but because you're not useful anymore. This is what I call transactional love. The kind where your value is measured not by who you are, but by what you offer. And as Stoics, we have to be painfully honest. Some people never truly cared about us. They just cared about what we could do for them. Let me tell you about Charles. Charles is 70. He spent most of his life working 2 jobs, helping his extended family at every turn. When his sister's kids wanted to go to college, he co-signed the loans. When his cousin was evicted, he paid the deposit on their next place. When his friend lost their job, Charles handed over $1,000 without asking for it back. People called him the rock-dependable, generous kind. But when Charles had a mild stroke and could no longer drive, he asked his nephew for a ride to his doctor's appointment. The reply, "Sorry, uncle, things are really hectic right now." No offer to reschedule, no apology, just a polite brush off. Charles didn't get angry. He just sat there, looked at the photo of that same nephew. Graduating college, a graduation Charles had funded, and whispered, "I was never family. I was an ATM with a heartbeat." Let that sink in. Stoicism doesn't ask us to become bitter, but it does demand that we remove illusions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change. But if no one can convince me, I must continue to follow what I know is right." And the truth is, transactional people are never really there for you. They're there for what you provide. You can spot them by their patterns. They only call when they need something. They disappear when you're in a crisis. When you say no, they act like you've committed a crime. They never ask how you are. They just ask for favors, rides, help, or money. Here's what's worse. When you finally stop giving, they don't argue. They vanish. The Stoics taught that a wise person gives freely, but never with the expectation of return. Epictetus said, "He who gives must never remember. He who receives must never forget." But transactional people flip this upside down. They forget every single thing you did for them and remember only the one time you didn't. You become selfish, changed, unreliable. But here's the Stoic truth: you were never the problem, the relationship was. Real love does not require you to prove yourself again and again. It doesn't demand access in exchange for affection. If your place in someone's life depends on how much you serve them, it's not love, it's servitude. I had a friend, let's call her Jamie. For years, I'd help her move, fix her resume, edit her business emails, and be there after every breakup. But the first time I asked her to dog sit while I was traveling, she said, "I don't really do favors like that." It hit me like a punch to the chest. All that time, all that effort, and the first time I needed something simple, she doesn't do favors. That was the moment I understood I was a tool in her life, not a friend, just a convenience. But here's the part many don't understand. You don't have to be useful to be loved. You are not obligated to keep proving your value to people just to stay in their lives. You are not a favor machine. You are not here to be available on command. And if someone treats your boundaries like a betrayal, that's all the proof you need that their loyalty was conditional. Stoicism teaches self-respect through discipline. And part of that discipline is learning to say no without guilt and observe who disappears when you do. So what do you do when you realize someone is treating you transactionally? Stop giving out of habit. Let silence replace availability and watch who steps back. Reclaim your time. Don't justify why you can't help this time. Just say, I'm not able to, and let that be enough. Notice who checks on you without needing something. These people are rare. Protect them. Release the ones who were only there when you were strong. If they couldn't sit with you in weakness, they don't deserve you in strength. Here's the deepest truth I've learned. Your later years are not a time to be exploited. They are a time to be honored. Let go of the belief that your usefulness is your worth. You have nothing left to prove. The people who truly love you, who really see you, they will remain when there's nothing left to gain. And if all you have to offer them is a quiet cup of tea and a gentle conversation, they'll show up anyway. That's love. Everyone else, let them go, because this next chapter of your life isn't about what you can give. It's about who still stands beside you when you stop giving. You are not a tool. You are not a favor. You are not someone's lifeline. You are a soul worthy of love, even in stillness. Part 4, the silent saboteurs. They smile, but hope you stay small. Not everyone who claps for you is happy for you. Some smiles carry resentment. Some hugs hide envy. And some people, especially those who've known you the longest, would rather see you stay small than watch you grow, because your growth reminds them they've chosen to stay still. They won't tell you this, of course. Silent saboteurs never do. They'll say things like, "Oh wow, you've really changed. That's cool, but don't get too ahead of yourself." Or the classic, "You've always been a dreamer. Just don't forget where you came from." It sounds harmless, even warm. But underneath those words is a quiet hope that you'll shrink, not because they hate you, but because your evolution makes them uncomfortable. It challenges the version of you they were comfortable with. You see, when you've been the reliable one, the problem solver, or the quiet helper in a group, your role becomes a cage. You don't just outgrow it, you threaten others by leaving it. Let me tell you about James. James was 60 when he finally decided to change his life. After years of family obligations, working long hours, and putting everyone else first, he retired. And for the first time in his life, he asked himself, what do I want? He joined a hiking club, started dating again, learned to paint, even cut ties with a few relatives who always expected him to clean up their messes. He didn't make a big announcement, he just started choosing himself. At first, his family called it a midlife crisis. His cousin said he was going through something. His sister told people he's not the same anymore. And that was exactly the point. James had changed. And the people who were most vocal about his transformation weren't strangers. They were the ones who benefited most from his silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. Be concerned only with the present action." In other words, don't waste time proving your change to those who preferred the old version of you. The silent saboteur doesn't need to sabotage you with attacks. They do it with absence, with lukewarm support, with a quick like on your post, but no real encouragement when you're making progress. They go quiet when you succeed, and they magically reappear when things fall apart. Why? Because they liked you better when you were struggling. Because back then they felt useful, needed, maybe even superior. But now you're becoming something else, something freer. And freedom is terrifying to those who chose comfort over growth. Here's how to recognize the silent saboteurs. They only support you when you're low. They're eager to help when you're broken, but vanish when you're thriving. They downplay your progress. That's nice. Just don't get too excited. They cling to the old you. You used to be so much more grounded. They talk behind your back, but not to your face. You hear about their opinions through whispers, never direct conversation. And worst of all, they make you question yourself. Because they don't openly criticize you, start thinking, maybe I'm imagining it. But you're not. Your body knows, your soul knows. Every time you leave their presence feeling a little smaller, a little unsure, a little less excited, that's your intuition warning you. Silent saboteurs thrive in that fog. They want you to second guess yourself. They don't need you to fail. They just need you to stop expanding, to doubt your progress just enough that you slow down. But here's what the Stoics would say. Growth that offends the insecure is not a problem. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. In fact, it's a sign you're doing something right. I had someone like this in my own life. Let's call her Jen. When I started focusing more on my inner peace journaling, walking daily, reading Stoic philosophy, she laughed. Not loudly, not meanly, just enough. Oh, so now you're one of those meditation people. Or, wow, look at you quoting ancient Greeks. Who are you now? I smiled, but inside it stung. And for a while, I stopped talking about it, stopped sharing the books I was reading, stopped inviting her into the new parts of my life. Until one day I realized something painful and freeing. I was editing myself to make someone else comfortable. And that's not growth. That's regression. So I stopped shrinking. I let her discomfort be hers. And something amazing happened. I grew faster, stronger, and I attracted people who actually celebrated that. Not everyone from your past deserves a seat in your future. Some people were only meant to walk with you until you found your strength. And when you do, let them walk away. Because the truth is, you are not responsible for the fear others feel when you grow. You don't owe anyone the smaller version of yourself. And if they miss the old you, that's okay. That version existed to survive. But this version, the one who sets boundaries, protects peace, and pursues purpose. This version exists to thrive. So here's your Stoic Focus reminder for today. You are not too old to transform. You are not selfish for changing, and you are not obligated to carry people's discomfort like it's your fault for evolving. Let them think what they will. Let them say you're different, because you are. And finally, you're different on purpose. Part 5, the spirit blockers. When people make you doubt your right to evolve, some people won't raise their voices. They won't argue. They won't insult you. They'll just look at your dreams, your purpose, your spark, and say, why bother? Isn't it a little late for that? Or worse, no one's going to care anyway. They don't stop you with anger. They stop you with doubt. These are the spirit blockers, and they are some of the most dangerous people you'll meet in the later chapters of life. Because unlike the loud manipulators or guilt trippers, spirit blockers don't need to fight you. They just plant quiet seeds of pointlessness. And if you're not careful, those seeds grow into apathy. Here's how it happens. You start a new project, something small. Something that lights you up, maybe writing your memoirs, joining a class, learning photography, starting a podcast. You're excited, nervous, a little proud even. You tell someone close to you, a sibling, an old friend, a partner. Their response, a memoir. Who's going to read that? Photography. At your age, you should be relaxing, not trying to be creative. They're not yelling. They're not judging. They're just questioning. Softly, repeatedly, relentlessly, and little by little you begin to wonder, maybe I'm being foolish, maybe this is silly, maybe I should just stop. That's how the spirit dies, not with a blow, but with a whisper. What's the point? Let me tell you about Linda. Linda had always wanted to write. Not to get famous, she didn't care about publishing deals. She just wanted to capture her life, her childhood stories, the struggles she overcame for her grandkids, for herself. She told her brother. He chuckled. A memoir. You think anyone's going to read that? You're not Maya Angelou. Linda laughed too nervously. Yeah, I guess it's kind of dumb. And just like that, she shelved the idea. Not because it was dumb, but because someone she loved couldn't see the value in it. It took her 2 years and one life-changing journal entry to return to it. She wrote, I want to be remembered, not for being perfect, but for being real. That was the beginning of her first chapter. Here's the thing. Purpose doesn't need an audience. It needs only your commitment. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop seeking permission. Just live the life that feels meaningful to you. Because spirit blockers, the ones who mock, minimize, or question your spark, they aren't trying to hurt you, not directly. They're just afraid. Afraid your courage proves they've wasted their own. Afraid your transformation exposes their stagnation. Your evolution holds up a mirror, and some people would rather smash that mirror than change themselves. You want to know who your real people are? Start doing something bold. Write that book. Take that class. Start that project. Share your thoughts online. Set a boundary. Move to a new place. Fall in love again. Rebuild your body. Heal your mind. Watch who leans in with genuine encouragement and who tries to pull you back. You'll see it clearly. The ones who cheer for you, they're growing too. The ones who mock you, they're stuck. So how do we protect our spirit? 1. Limit access. Not everyone deserves to know your dreams, especially not the ones who laugh at them. Be selective. 2. Learn to spot disguised doubt. It often sounds like concern. Just be careful. I don't want you to get hurt. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. Don't mistake fear for wisdom. 3. Stop defending your growth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for trying to become more of who you really are. Let your actions speak. 4. Create sacred space. Even if it's just a quiet room, a notebook, a walk in the morning, make space where your ideas can breathe freely without judgment. And above all, trust your inner compass. You know what makes you come alive. You know what ideas keep returning to you at 2 a.m. You know what excites your heart and calms your mind. Honor that. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." There is no age limit on evolution. There is no expiration date on meaning. And there is no better time than now to reclaim the part of you that still wants more and more peace, more creativity, more truth, more connection. You are not silly for dreaming. You are not naive for starting again. You are not too old to evolve. You are brave for trying. You are wise for listening to your soul. And you are strong for protecting your spark, even if no one else sees its light yet. Because at the end of your life, you won't regret the things you did that made you feel alive. You'll only regret letting someone else convince you they weren't worth doing. So let them laugh. Let them doubt. Let them whisper. Because while they're busy mocking, you'll be busy becoming. And that, my friend, is what Stoicism is really about. Not just you enduring life, but living it fully, boldly, intentionally, even especially at the very end.